Hey, welcome back to Polyglots of the Week. This week our theme is pronunciation and the problems that we have with it sometimes. Okay. Start off, I will admit that I think that pronunciation is my strongest suit. Honestly, I think it's my greatest strength in language learning. Above everything else, I think I always have very good pronunciation. But, I'm still not perfect, and I still do make mistakes, so I'm just gonna, talk about that a little bit. So the first mistake that I often make when I'm speaking a language is that I'm, too eager to speak and to, show off that I can speak, I can hold a conversation, so I will speak too quickly, and then that can create problems because although I know exactly how it's supposed to be pronounced, and if I speak slowly enough, it will be perfectly pronounced, I will speak too quickly so that my mouth can't catch up with my mind and I, mess it up. Tip number one, don't go too fast, don't go faster than you need to. Don't go irritatingly slow either. But as long as you're going at, a decent speed where you're just saying what you need to say and people will understand, and, at a speed like that, it's fine. You don't need to speak any faster if you can't. And that's something that I tell myself a lot because I will try to challenge myself too much and go too fast and ruin the pronunciation of my words and make it sound blah, 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 like all messed up. So that's the first thing. Second is, let's see, I'll mention more specifically about Chinese, because since Chinese have tones, you have to be very aware of them, and you cannot just say things how you want, you have to say them with the tone. So, and I usually don't have a problem with tones, I can differentiate between them, as long as it's not too fast and I can say them pretty well. But I do have a habit, since I am an English speaker and a Spanish speaker, which does not have tones, of when I formulate a question, I'll go oh, is this how you say it? How a question goes, the tone goes up. It's like a second tone in Chinese. And when I speak Chinese and I'm not sure if I'm using the right word, I'll say it, but I'll accidentally make it second tone because I'll be if I see a dog and I'm not sure if that's the word, I'll be go, and then the person will go, no, go. Yeah, I know it's a third tone, I just wanted to know if it was G-O-U, but I accidentally said it a second tone because I was making a question. Which you're not supposed to do in Chinese. It can be confusing, and they'll think that you're just saying it wrong, that you just don't know what tone it's supposed to be. When that's not necessarily true. I know what tone it's supposed to be, I just make sure I'm saying it right. And the third mistake that I often make is, since I learn various languages, this is because I am, I try to be a polyglot. I don't know if I am, but I learn many languages at once. So the problem that sometimes arises from that is that when I pick up a new language, I will pronounce it differently. So, for example, in high school when I took German, my main language was French. That was the language I had spent the most time studying, and it was the language that was sort of most similar to German that I knew. It was French and English. They're all the European languages there. So my problem sometimes, because we had this skit that I had to do for a contest, and my main problem with the pronunciation was that I would pronounce certain words as if they were French words. I didn't have an American accent, I had a French accent in German, and it was just really funny because I couldn't, there's this one word, I don't remember what it was, but I just couldn't get it right. I'd pronounce it as if I were from France. And it was just really funny. Eventually I got it, but for some reason, my brain would just apply French pronunciations onto these German words, because they look foreign. This is not English, this is not Spanish. Oh, my brain was like, oh, it must be French. So that's something that I had to sort of get over as well. It wasn't a big deal, but it was kind of funny when I had to formulate these longer sentences and I'd start falling into this habit of the French accent. But yeah, those are the 3 main problems I've had in the past. I don't really have anything else in specific. You know, I do make mistakes sometimes, and I do need to practice like everyone else, but I think I'm usually pretty good with that. But like, okay, so, but some tips for people who do have trouble with pronouncing things in other languages is, first of all, obviously practice. Just keep going at it. Sometimes it's just when you're new, your mouth's not used to it, and it just takes a while, and really it has nothing to do with you, it just has to do with your mouth getting used to it. Second, listen to native speakers. I know that sounds obvious, but like really listen and try to pay attention to how their like mouth moves, and sort of like a common mistake that I hear English speakers do when they try to speak Spanish is they'll get the, let's see how I come up with like for D's in Spanish, they'll put it in the wrong place. They'll put it in like where the English speakers put D's, so instead of the dinosaurio. It's very small difference, but I can hear it as a speaker of both. And this actually applies the other way too. When my cousins try to speak English, they will also put the D in the wrong place. So like instead of like the English D is here, the Spanish D is more here. So I'm trying to think of some examples like dinosaurio, or of course I can't come up with any words now because I'm filming, of course. Computadora, computadora. The D's right here, and then for English the D is right here. Okay, so like that's one thing that you should like pay attention to, like how it sounds vaguely different. Even though D's do exist in both languages, they are pronounced slightly differently. And that's just sort of like maybe one thing that, you know, you can focus on. That's a really specific example, but like in general, if you're learning a language, just sort of focus on how they're speaking and just listen. Yeah, okay. And then third, obviously effort, and like don't feel embarrassed. I don't know if this is really a problem with people who want to speak a language, but I have heard from other people, and I've like talked, someone told me once that like they don't pronounce things right because they get embarrassed. Like they probably could, but it's like too embarrassing or something, which I don't understand personally, but I don't know if perhaps some other people get that sort of feeling of like, oh, maybe like you're trying to be posh or something. I don't know, but don't feel embarrassed. I personally, I think it sounds more embarrassing if you pronounce things wrong, but if you are one of those people, just put yourself out there. Your pronunciation will get better and it'll sound good, and it's really impressive. It's not embarrassing. I don't know. That's something that I've heard. I don't know how common it is, but I'm just putting it out there in case anybody is like that. So yeah, I think that's all I needed to point out. As usual, the video is a lot longer than I thought it would be, but that's good, I guess. Alright. See ya.